Migrating off QuickBooks Desktop is a question of timing, not necessity. Intuit is phasing the product out. What decides whether it goes well is the move itself. Whether the chart of accounts is rebuilt for QuickBooks Online, whether integrations are replaced, and whether history is reconciled once it lands. Intuit is phasing out QuickBooks Desktop, so migration is a question of timing, not necessity. What matters is what happens after end of support. Payroll tables freeze, bank feeds disconnect, and security patches stop arriving. The file keeps opening, but it stops being a system you can safely run a business on. Enterprise is exempt from the phase-out. You're in scope if any of these describe you. You're running Desktop Pro or Premier. You're on Wave, Xero, FreshBooks, or Bench. Your business has outgrown its current QuickBooks Online tier. Your accountant or a new CPA can't work in your current platform. You're facing an audit, a capital raise, or a sale. Or your desktop integrations are already degrading. Intuit's free migration tool moves the data and stops there. It doesn't review accuracy, redesign the chart of accounts for QuickBooks Online, replace desktop integrations, or reconcile history. Most migrations we deliver exist because the free tool ran and the result wasn't usable. Broken feeds, missing integrations, an unusable chart of accounts, opening balances that don't tie. Repairing that is migration cleanup. A professional migration is a defined scope of work, agreed before anything moves. A pre-migration audit, data conversion, chart of accounts review and restructuring, opening balance verification, customer and vendor cleanup, historical reconciliation, bank feed reconnection, sales tax reconfiguration, a first-month reconciliation, training with recorded video, a documented summary, and a CPA-coordinated handoff at the end. Every migration runs 4 phases in this order: migration diagnostic and pre-audit, establishing what's actually in the file before anything moves, data conversion and restructure, integration replacement and configuration, because desktop add-ons rarely have a like-for-like equivalent in QuickBooks Online, then verification, training, and the CPA handoff that closes the engagement. Nothing here is signed off on a feeling. The Migration Integrity Protocol is a 7-point verification, run before any migration is called complete, the name standard that separates a migration somebody actually checked from one that merely finished running. 7 things verified every time on every engagement before anyone signs it off. Your historical data and reports come across, and the work happens inside your own QuickBooks subscription. You own the file at the end, not a vendor. Historical reconciliation is part of the scope precisely so the reports you relied on in desktop still answer the same questions in online. Migration is a fixed one-time engagement, typically $2,500 to $10,000 or more. A simple migration, single entity under 3 years of history, runs $2,500 to $4,500. A standard migration with multi-year history, several integrations and payroll, $4,500 to $7,500. A complex multi-entity or enterprise migration, $7,500 to $10,000 or more. Migration isn't only a desktop story. Moving off Wave, Xero, FreshBooks, or Bench onto QuickBooks Online is a regular engagement here. Cross-platform migration rebuilds the chart of accounts from scratch rather than converting an existing one, which is why that work consistently sits at the higher end of the range. Desktop integrations are where migrations quietly go wrong. Each add-on has to be assessed individually, replaced with a QuickBooks Online equivalent, and then configured, never assumed to carry over. Migration is the modernization. The capabilities you end up with are what actually matter, and they get decided during the move, not after it. Every engagement is run by a named certified QuickBooks Pro advisor who works in both desktop and online, the same person through diagnostic, conversion, and handoff. Move deliberately, not during the rush. One call tells you exactly where your books stand and what your migration would involve. Send this to your business partner or your CPA if you're still on desktop, and subscribe for the rest of the QuickBooks series.